Dajaha, hi guys, this is Shanae and welcome back to my channel. So today I am reacting to the rankings. Well, I'm not reacting to it, but I'm doing the rankings for all the shows that I've reacted to. And I'm super excited for this one because it was the closest second to the other thing that we ended up doing for my birthday live, where I took the different quizzes. So I'm just kind of excited to be able to sit down and talk your ears off about all the shows that I've reacted to and loved. So yeah, if anyone is here, would you mind just letting me know if the sound is okay? I think I'm just gonna share this on my on my social medias again, and I do want to apologize in advance for how noisy it's probably gonna be throughout this live, because it's like more or less rush hour traffic right now, and it's like heading into the worst time of rush hour traffic right now, but it's the only time that I could film today, so yay for that. Okay, so anyway, let me quickly share this and then we can get started. Goodness, sorry, I'm messing up. Let's try this again. Okay, so again, just let me know if the audio is fine. I'm hoping that it's fine. I didn't really mess around with the settings, so it should be the same as yesterday. I'm gonna try and talk loudly because I know, as always, that my mic is not great. But anyway, and of course, as luck would have it, we are experiencing problems with the stream. Great. Happy birthday! I hope you have a good day, and thank you so much for joining us on your special day. It's always good to see you. Okay. So as you guys can see, I kind of lined up the shows that I've reacted to. So I'm only gonna be rating the ones that I've completed, because I don't think it's fair to like rate the ones that I haven't finished yet, but I will kind of just mention where I would put them based on where we're at now in the show so far. But yeah, I also included the movies that we did just for the fun of it, because like, why not? They also deserve honorable mentions. So yeah, let's just get this organized. Oh. Okay, so I think everything is ready, so I'm gonna get started now. I'm not sure how long the stream will be. We might stick around for some questions afterwards if you guys want to, and if there's time, because I do have to go to class today as well, which is great. But yeah, okay, let us start with the top one. So I had acting and voice acting in the same category, because I feel like, you know, obviously with the animes you can't really judge them by acting, so that wouldn't really be fair, so that's why I included the two together. So let's just start from here. So I feel like Motosushi Q was decent voice acting. I think that it's quite impressive because, as far as I know, Thank you, Lee, and welcome. How are you? Because as far as I know, like, the voice actors who did Modazushi were the same ones who did Modazushi Q. I don't think they changed voice actors. And the fact that they could kind of adjust the way they were speaking to just be a bit softer and more cutesy without actually being like cutesy, I think is quite impressive. So yeah, it's just, I feel like they would probably be somewhere in, oopsie. Ah, no. Sorry, this thing is delayed. This is gonna take some getting used to. I feel like it would be somewhere in the middle, so we're just gonna put that there for now. The acting in Capture Lover, oh my goodness, that was my first reaction series, and it feels like it was an eternity ago, because it's actually, now that I think about it, it's more than a year ago that I did that. But I think for the most part, the acting was actually quite good. The sound design was the biggest flaw that I remember from that show. But I think the acting was decent. So where will we put this? I feel like maybe put this before Modazushi Q, because Modazushi Q was like awesome, as I mentioned, but it wasn't like, there wasn't anything that really stood out to me, if I can say it like that. And maybe it's also just because the show isn't really built to be challenging for the actors. It's mostly like cute, happy moments. But yeah, just for that reason alone, I feel like the acting for Capture Lovers should be before the voice acting for Modazushi Q. Because they actually had some really decent moments, and I got the feeling that it was created by a very small studio. So for that, the fact that they really tried should be commended. Then Heaven Official's Blessing, honestly, it's up there. It's definitely up there, because I feel like the voice actors did such a good job of balancing the humor and the seriousness of the characters within the way that they were voice acted. Like, it's honestly quite impressive. I can't think of one moment where the voice acting didn't fully deliver all the emotions that was needed in that one moment. And there were so many good moments throughout. I started rewatching it again with my cousin, because I wanted to introduce her to it. Turns out it's a bit too graphic for her, which is surprising, because I'm like a very sensitive viewer. But yeah, so she couldn't watch past the third episode. But still, she agrees with me that like the 3 episodes that she did see, she loved. It was just a bit too much for her. Okay, then Spirit Pact. I'm gonna have to put it last, because all the like emotionally heavy moments or emotionally intense moments just were not delivered on. And that was one of the biggest things that brought the entire experience of the show, well, that movie down for me. So definitely one of the last. And I feel so bad for saying that, because I get the idea that it's not like it's not like they didn't put effort into it, but just, yeah, I'm sorry. Someone has to be last for now. It has to be that one. Out of the ones on here, which ones that you've seen are your favorites? Which ones were the most fun to watch me react to as well? Because I feel like shows can be nice, but they're not always the best reaction material. Like for me, one that I would say isn't like the best reaction material would be Capture Lava. I thought it was, like, I enjoyed it, but I don't think it got a lot of interesting reactions out of me. I feel like Word of Honor was my favorite to react to, just because it pulled on so many of my emotions. Okay, then Guardian. Guardian had some really good acting. This is where it's gonna get tough though, because I feel like most of the shows that I've watched have good acting. Okay, we'll put it. Okay, just because we have Shinwei and Zhao Yunlan acting the way they do, I'm gonna put them in front of Heaven Official's Blessing because I feel like the voice acting is gonna have a bit of trouble competing with people who are like actually acting, because they like the animation contributes so much to the emotions that you feel that I don't think it's quite a fair competition. But we'll see. Then Wu Liang. Ooh. Okay, Wu Liang definitely has to go before everything else that we've had so far, just because of how much they got me to feel and empathize and emote in a 38-minute movie. That was truly impressive. Don't feel bad. Good to hear honest opinions. Word of honor is number one, right? Like, it does a lot with your emotions. I think Untamed probably for me would have as well if I hadn't already watched it. But because I already watched it in my own time and that was a rewatch, it wasn't as like amazing in terms of reaction wise, which is too bad. I would have loved to have that video diary of me experiencing it for the first time, but luckily I at least have that for Word of Honor now. SEI, I feel like it would have to be after Heaven Official's Blessing, because the acting is not bad, but it's just slightly above average, you know, like it's good and I enjoy it and it serves its purpose, but it's not outstanding. It doesn't like really stick out as anything beyond what you would expect from a series, but it's still better to me than Capture Lover was. I don't know. Then let's see, Scumbag Villain Self-Saving System. I think the voice acting for that was actually quite good now that I think about it, because the voice actor was so versatile. The one who played for our male lead with the fan, whose name I can now not remember, because he was so serious and self-contained for the most part. Sorry. And then you hear his inner voice and it's like panicking. And the way you can, like, the voice actor captured that emotion and had that contrast be so strong, I think is really good. So we'll have to put it, I don't really want to put it in front of Heaven Official's Blessing just because I love Heaven Official's Blessing more. But I'm sure Heaven Official's Blessing will have another place to shine. Okay, yeah, we'll put it in front of Heaven Official's Blessing for now. Maybe I'll change my mind later. Okay, then Lost Tomb Reboot. Oh my word. Okay, just total side notes. Lee, I feel like you should react to Lost Tomb Reboot at some point, or just watch it in your own time, because it's like there's moments that are a bit ridiculous in terms of believability, but it's actually quite good in terms of like character study and so on, especially the first season. I feel like you don't necessarily have to watch the second season, but the first season is quite solid. The second season was also good. Let's see. We definitely put it before SEI. Like, there was just some really good scenes in there that really pulled on all my emotions. Do I want to put it in front of the voice actors though? It's Lost Tomb Reboot. I think the official full name of it is Lost Tomb: The Sound of Providence. Yeah, like I'll message it to you if you can't find it, but yeah. feel like let's just put it there for now, because it's the kind of show that I would actually rewatch, and I actually in fact have rewatched, so I definitely feel like it deserves a high spot. Okay, then Yin Yang Master Dream of Eternity. Oh my goodness, that was such a good movie. I so thoroughly enjoyed that one. The emotions in it though, let's think. I just did, oopsie, there went my phone, I'm sorry. I just realized I didn't put sound, like sound design in this. That sucks. I should have done that, because we'll discuss that one in any case, even though I didn't officially put it on the list. I feel like the acting was pretty decent, but I don't know if it, like, the reason why my thoughts immediately now went to the sound design is because I think the sound design was a big part of drawing out all the emotions that I had in that movie. So I'm thinking in front of SEI after Lost Tomb. Just because like Lost Tomb had a longer format, so it does give the actors more time to showcase their art than a movie does. So yeah, I would say, but like still the acting was really good. It's just, it's competing quite harshly with a lot of other good things. That's a problem. Okay, then Untamed. Untamed, I'm sorry, it is immediately going to the front there. Like, I cannot. They just, the fact that they communicated so much through like looks, the fact that they delivered an entire relationship that could otherwise not have been showcased. And also Wang Yibu's acting is honestly so impressive, because he has so few lines, and the fact that he can emote so much without going over the top just blew me away. Because I was genuinely, when I watched Untamed for the first time, I was concerned, considering Lang Wangji's type of character, that the actor would not be able to portray it, and he just delivered. So honestly, I'm sorry, it has to go to the front, simply for Wang Yibu's performance. Number one so far, The Untamed, is captivating. Yay! I'm so excited to actually watch your reactions to it, because I haven't even started on that, because I'm just like, I know I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole, and it's gonna suck to not be able to watch them immediately, all of them. So like, guess what I'm doing during my break is catching up on all the reaction videos that I've missed. Okay, and then we have the audio drama version of Modao Zushi, aka Untamed. So this one I would have to put in front of all the other animations, because they had even, like, they didn't even have visuals to work with, and they just delivered. Yeesh, like, after completing the show now, the audio drama series, that is definitely my favorite adaptation. It's just, it's so well done. The attention to detail that they gave this, the fact that even the extras were so well done, it just gives you so much respect for the creators. Honestly, I think that's one of my favorite things about Chinese dramas, and I'm not that familiar with adaptations from other Asian countries, but it's just, honestly, sometimes with the Western media, it feels like the art of filmmaking gets lost when it's not some high-class artsy film that's, you know, gunning for a nomination in the Oscars or something like that. Whereas here, like, there are so many shows that you feel the directors were trying so hard to make it's in a good way. You know, it's not just another romantic comedy or just another action film. So I really appreciate that. And I'm not saying that like there aren't massive duds in Chinese films, but just the ones that I've watched so far for the channel just astound me. I think I'm I'm not sure. I feel like it's difficult to say because you can't really compare their two roles. I don't think it would be fair to the actors to compare their two roles. For example, like it just didn't feel like they're on a even playing field to do that comparison in The Untamed. But I'm sorry to say, I do think that Wang Yibu does the best with a very difficult character in The Untamed. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Like you really do feel like the creators have a passion for what they're doing, and that's also why I prefer, personally speaking, I prefer British shows over American, because I feel like most of the British TV shows that I do, like, the cinematography is great, the acting is good, and everything like that as well. And I'm really not trying to like downgrade American things. I just think that American market has become so oversaturated that many of their directors have become lazy or have felt the pressure to produce quantity over quality. I would disagree with you there, because I think that, I don't know, I just think that it was all done so well that I'm struggling to be very objective about it, because I do think that he did an amazing job, and I think that he worked with the medium that they were given. The anime and everything like that had a different medium that they worked with, so you could really expand on all the like visual effects and things like that without it costing a massive budget. And the fact that they had to rely more on character driven moments in the drama, because like you just can't reach the same level of CGI that you can reach animation. I just think they focused on the correct thing for me personally. And I think that's why he comes across more emotional in the drama than he does in any of the other forms of media. And I do also think that that was in a way them compensating for the fact that they couldn't show on-screen romance, because there was a lot of small things that had to change in order to better portray the romance that's hidden than they necessarily would have had to change if they could just be all out there. Of course, there are so many American shows which are truly outstanding, but I do feel that there are many times American shows just try and be fancy and have all these cool technology, weapon or gadgets. Exactly, yeah. Okay, sorry, and then the biggest one of all, I'm sorry, it is no surprise that Word of Honor is taking first place here, I don't think. Just because, honestly, it was just, like, I like all the other characters. I'm gonna be comparing it directly to Untamed, because that was its competition, basically. But with Untamed, even though I absolutely adore the supporting cast, don't get me wrong, I don't feel like they have as many moments to really show off their acting. Like, the moments where they do need to do it, and I'm gonna try not to spoil here because there's a reactor in the chat. but the moments where they do need to show off the acting, they're doing an amazing job. But the moments where they don't necessarily need to like captivate your emotions, they sometimes disappeared a little bit to me into the background, whereas I'd never got that feeling with Guxiang and with Cao Wenying and with Chenling. Like, I never felt like any of them disappeared or were overshadowed by another person's acting. And that's why I just think that in general, the acting for Word of Honor really stood out for me. And obviously, Wen Kexing being able to portray a flirt and like this insane person and this very adorable dependent junior, that range just needs to be appreciated. And also with Zhang Jahan, all the emotions that Zhou Shushu had to show without really showing them was so good. And the fact that I looked back on my reactions for it, and I feel like there were so many times that I could more or less accurately guess where his head was at just from the way he was portraying the character without the need for dialogue. And I think that that really says a lot to me. So yeah, I'm sorry, but there's not even a question about that. There we go. Now I just realized that I didn't upload enough pictures to be moving all of them there. So we're going to be moving on to the next one, and I'm going to be shifting them down because clearly this is, I'm not too good with this. I didn't think this through enough. Okay, so we're moving them down. Cinematography. Okay, so cinematography, I'm gonna look at cinematography, aka animation. I just didn't think to divide them up. So let's think. I feel like, again, I'm sorry to poor Spirit Pact, but it is, again, the dud. The animation for Moda Zushikyu was beautiful. Like, I know they reused most of the scenes from the original anime, but it still counts. I still think that was gorgeous. So that is going to be going there. And then Capture Lava actually had some really good scenes, but I just don't know if it's strong enough to compete with all of the other ones. So I'm going to be putting it here between these two. Like, for me, the shots with them under the cherry blossoms was just so gorgeous. Yeah, Guxiang breaks all of our hearts. Let's just not even lie. SEI cinematography. It was okay. Like, it had some moments that were quite strong, especially when they were dealing with some of the characters that were not completely all there. But just, does it compete? That's the question. I'll put it there. Okay, then Yin Yang Master Dream of Eternity. It did have some really good cinematography. I'm just wondering. Okay, I'll put it. I think it was really beautiful, so let's just put that there for now. Like, that was the quality that if all had gone well, and if I knew that Avatar: The Last Airbender wasn't meant to be a series and not squeezed into a movie, like, that was the quality of movie I expected when I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, the movie. That was not the quality that I got. The cinematography for Lost Tomb was decent. I really appreciated how they used lighting throughout the Lost Tomb because, I mean, they're mostly underground, and yet I never felt that I was struggling to see what was going on. Like, it was always well lit, but believably lit, which I really appreciate so much, because I just hate it when they expect there to be tension and you can't have tension because you can't see what the hell is going on. Morazishi audio drama is great. I'm really impressed by Mauritian's voice acting, especially I later got to know he was a reporter and didn't receive professional acting education. That is impressive. I didn't know that. I just knew that he was part of this team, like he was one of the creators for the audio drama. That much I knew. But that's really impressive. If he didn't get acting education, that is wow. Okay, so we'll put yeah, let's put that in front of SCI but after Capture Lover. Just because I feel like the Capture Lover really did a good job of capturing the emotions in that scene with the cherry blossoms through the cinematography. Okay, Heaven Official's Blessing. Oh my goodness, it is going here. I love the animation for that so much. The atmosphere that they create through the animation is just spectacular. And I think the only reason why I'm putting it in front of Morazishi Q is because like Morazishi Q didn't have that many emotional like epic moments, because that wasn't the reason for the show, so it can't really compete on the same battlefield. If it was Morazushi versus like the normal Morazushi Donghua versus Heaven Official's Blessing, they would be on the same level in my opinion. But just I watched the first episode again when I was watching it with my cousin, and it just takes my breath away every single time. I cannot. Yes, I'm like I looked at my video for the reaction, like I saw it on my channel again, like I can't believe how well that video did. It's kind of insane to think that was one of the building blocks for my channel almost. It's such a good show. Oh my goodness. Okay, anyway, sorry. Scumbag Villain. Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of 3D animation for Chinese Donghua. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's good, but the fact that it's so close to realistic and yet it just feels like I'm watching a game, and it kind of still throws me off a little bit. Yeah, exactly. It just really is on another level. Hi, Dynasty Girl. Hi, Bippy. Wow, you guys like basically arrived at the same time. Don't worry, like we're making progress, but it's very slow. I'm just basically gushing about all of the shows that I've watched so far because they're so good. So Scumbag Villain, just because of the type of animation that I'm not the biggest fan of, I would have to put it between these two, because that still has some really good animation, but it's just just not my favorites. I would have preferred if they had done it in 2D animation. Okay, then the audio drama. I cannot speak on the cinematography because it doesn't exist. So just because of the fact that it doesn't exist, and not because of anything else, I will have to put it last. But I will still give credit to the fact that the cover designs for each episode, so the illustrations that they used for each episode, is gorgeous. Really, really, really beautiful. Like, if you have time and you haven't seen the illustrations for the audio drama, just go have a look. Of course, if you know the full story, do that. Don't do that when you're still halfway through the story, because there will be spoilers. Guardian, the cinematography was decent. Like, it was good, but it wasn't really that memorable. But there were some moments that were good, so I'll put it before Capture Lover. yeah, let's do that. Wulang. Trying to remember if there were any like real moments to think about in terms of the cinematography. I think cinematography again was decent, but it wasn't really utilized as a form of storytelling. Like, it was just practical. So it will have to be around the same place as Guardian. I'm just trying to figure out if it should be before or after. Okay, just for the very bad CGI in Guardian, I'm going to be petty and I'm going to put Wulang before that because Wulang didn't have bad CGI. But I'm like, even that said, I absolutely love Guardian still. Yeah, that's the thing, is like it's fine. Like, it's better than fine, but it's just, it has, when there's competition, you really can't put it too high on the list because it's just good. It's not amazing. Okay, then again, I'm sorry to do this, but Untamed has to go up there because just some of the moments were so well done. Like, the high intensity moments as well as the more emotional moments, the camera work just so good. I'm thinking specifically of some of the battles and obviously some of the Wangxing moments just really told the story. And when, especially when, I think it was when Wei Ying woke up at some point that I'm not going to specify because I don't want to ruin it for Lee. I can't remember which episode is on, but when he saw Lang Wangji, that moment, the way the camera movements were there, solid. And then Word of Honor again has to go before the Untamed because I just think that there were so many good moments that really showed you a character's emotional state or the emotional and kind of psychological states of some of the characters. I'm specifically thinking about all the Dutch tilts that were incorporated whenever there was a scene with the Ghost Valley. I felt like that was quite cleverly done, and I think that there were even some moments that you didn't really maybe register immediately, but that they hinted at a connection with the Ghost Valley by using the Dutch angle in moments when the Ghost Valley wasn't there, but there was someone that somehow had a connection to them. So I thought that was really clever. And I just think that also the battle scenes between Wen Kexing and Zhou Shushu, the camera work there just transcended to another level, honestly. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't think of that. I love Guardian too, but some of the Dishin creatures were just not. Yeah, exactly. The CGI there just. Yeah, we'll be discussing the soundtrack and just the sound design for that as well, even if I don't have it on my list, just because it's important. Yeah, no. We're not saying that Untamed CGI wasn't seriously lacking at certain points. Though the Demon Dog for me wasn't the worst offense, because I feel like they actually incorporated practical effects with that, and it kind of sold it a little bit more for me. But there were some other ones that just, like, especially I think at one point they have someone's hand being stabbed with a sword, and instead of just not having that shot, they showed it with all its CGI, bad CGI glory. I'm just like, why? Just take that shot out. If it looks that bad, just take it out. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Okay, and then sets and costume design. Yay! Sorry, I love set and costume design. That it's just, it makes everything so much better if it's good. So again, you two will have to be last. It's a shame. Poor Spirit Pact is really not doing well. I can't help thinking about that wig. The wigs were a choice. And I mean, I know that they had to have it, but just also on top of everything else, it didn't really sell that much. I'm just sitting here looking at Spirit Pact and wondering, so what did it excel at? I think it had moments that were good, but just everything coming together turned it into a bit of a mess. Okay, the set design and costume design for SEI, I think it was actually quite good. Like the moments where it needed to shine, it really did. And I appreciate the fact that they so many times incorporated the themes of white rat and black cat, or white mouse and black cat. You know, like the fact that it was in so many of their leisure wear scenes, I just really appreciate. So it actually was pretty decent. I think that, let me think about Lost Tomb. Lost Tomb, I quite actually liked the set design, the costume design for that as well. It was really believable, and I think that they chose, like, the locations that they chose really had a good atmosphere, and then the clothing that they chose to go with that, the characters, it felt like the characters really were embodied in the clothing as well. So I think it would have to be in front of SEI again, but then Capture Lover for the set and costume design would have to be there, because it, like, they didn't really do anything in terms of set and costume design. It really did, I think that was one of the, besides the sound design, was one of the moments where you're like, okay, you can kind of see that they just picked whichever locations they could get their hands on. Especially that office building. Damn, the sound design for that office building was not considered. Sorry, that sound design, like I never thought something could bother me as much as that did. Oh yes, the turtle. Oh my goodness. For me, the dancing lady was bad. I was low-key impressed with her before she went out into the sunlight. And then the dimensions and everything just did not. Yeah, the monster and the guy was pretty bad. Word of Honor has to be the first, just for Winkershin. Like, first for everything. Winkershin, reason being. Like, it was so weird, and scenes just kept on going. I love Untamed, but the CGI at the time was. Yeah, I feel like Word of Honor really wins out for having limited the CGI as much as they did, because it just, the CGI pulls you out so easily if it's not handled well. The biggest weak point of the Untamed on visual is their battle scenes, where there are just a few people that it just looks like a game than a battle. Yeah, like, honestly, one of the biggest places where I felt that was the case was with the scene where with the dancing statue, dancing lady, in, I think, the novel and in the audio drama, and also in the donghua, it takes place in a forest, and because in the drama they chose to have it in a well-lit, open space, it's, number one, it took away a lot of the tension, in my opinion. Number two, it didn't really feel that serious. Number three, it made, because you could clearly see the CGI in the broad daylight, it made it less believable. And it also opened that question of, why is everyone so calm over the fact that it's like it's pretty clear that Mo Shuangyu is summoning Wenning, you know. Whereas if it had been in a forest, you wouldn't have had the demon fairy thing being that obvious. Like, you could have obscured it with shadows, making it more intimidating. You could have heightened the tension. You could have caused a lot of confusion for the disciples, and then they wouldn't have so obviously known who was summoning Wenning. So I just feel like there would have been a lot of plot holes fixed if they had just found a forest and shot that at night, or late afternoon in the very least. But yeah. Okay, Guardian set and costume design. I think it was actually pretty decent. There were a few questionable things, but like, for the pure facts of how much effort what's the guy's name? Shenwei's actor, whose name I always knew and now I cannot think of. All the effort that he put into Shenwei's clothes, because as far as I know, he had to source a lot of the clothes from his own personal wardrobe because the budget had gone to the other actors, if I'm not mistaken. So just for all the effort that he put into designing Shenwei's wardrobe, it has to be here. It has to be at the front. No, come back. There we go. Because, like, Shenwei was serving looks throughout the entirety of Guardian, and I appreciate him for it. Okay, then William was actually pretty decent. I mean, they didn't have that many things going on, but I felt like the tattoos were believable. I've seen some pretty bad tattoos in my time, and I think the tattoos were pretty good. The costumes were nice, and the set design, I think, was above average. I would have to put it in front of Guardian, even though I was just praising Shenwei. But yeah, I do think, like, overall it just created a very cohesive, beautiful feel. So yeah, it has to go there. Ju Yilong, thank you. Ah, I can't believe I forgot his name for a moment there. Yeah, I've read the novel. I know their choices. Yes, I'm including all the movies that I've reacted to. At least I hope I remembered all of them. Scumbag villain. The set and costume design, I think it's pretty good, but I would have to... it's very standard, I think. So I do like the flares that we have for Liu Bixing. Not Liu Bixing. Lo Binghe. Yeah, no, like, yeah, I have a dog and she's barking. She's so full of herself today because she got a bath yesterday and she is feeling very confident, which is adorable, but the barking. Anyway, Scumbag villain. Okay, let's just... I'll put it there because there were some beautiful moments, but it didn't really stand out that much to me. Then, what else is she cute? The set, like, the animation was beautiful. the set design animation choices there was beautiful. I like the character design, so I don't know where to include that. We'll include that there. I think it was in a similar realm to Scumbag. Yeah, we'll put it there because I like Murasushi more than I liked Scumbag in terms of the designs. Yeah, I probably should, because like you guys deserve some niceness on your screen. She is adorable, but I do like showcase not many, but I've posted quite a few photos of her on my Twitter just because she has moments where she's really cute and it needs to be captured. Okay, the set design for Yin Yang Master was good. I'm sorry, it has to go in front of Wu Liang, just because I think like it was on the same level as Wu Liang, but we got to see a lot more of it because obviously Yin Yang Master is longer. So I think it deserves to be in front of Wu Liang. It was just so beautiful. Oh, I need to rewatch that movie. Okay, Heaven Official's Blessing needs to go in front of Yin Yang Master. Like, just the opening episode. Need I say more? The costume design for Shilian, I cannot get over the fact they incorporated a butterfly into that costume design. Into that specific costume design nonetheless. And then just everything about Ho Chang, just so much happiness. And also with the flashback, that character costume design stunning, and then just the environment for everything was so well done. Like when I was watching episode 2 again, I got so many chills, and I mean I knew what was coming and still all the chills. So definitely up there, so good. Now comes the difficult part. No, I'm trying to think. I feel like just for this, and this is saying a lot, Untamed needs to go there, because I think that the environment, the set design was equal to Word of Honor and Heaven Official's Blessing. It was so beautiful. Like, it was my introduction to what true beautiful set design could look like. So I'm not trying to downplay it, but just because when I think of the costume design aspects of it, like I liked the costume design, but it like just compared to the other two, it isn't quite on the same level. So in my opinion, so even though it is absolutely fantastic, it has to be after Heaven Official's Blessing, just because the costume design just lagged a little bit. Okay, wait, where are we now? It was very intricate. Wait until you see Timba Fuya lose. Its CGI is like Scumbag Villain, but the animation quality is night and day. Okay, yeah, so we're just talking about that. Okay, then Word of Honor, again, has to be in front, just because it had both. It had fantastic costume designs, and then it had the set design just be up there as well. And I think in terms of the costume designs, I really appreciate the fact that the costume people took the time to think of, okay, Guxiang's mood, she's in love, so we're gonna dress her in like a subtle pink, and they had kind of that happening with Wen Kuxing as well, where you could see, at least in my eyes, you could see at the time where they were at this Four Seasons manor, you could see his true side coming out with the red, but then it was a softer version of his true self. And you got that with the light red and then the dark red underneath. So all of those details in the costume design really stood out to me. And then obviously the set design was on par with Untamed, which just so good, so beautiful. Just beautiful. I just realized I should have deducted a point from Word of Honor for that terrible shot with Wen Kuxing reaching out to Joshua, and he looks like he has a bobblehead. Because that shot is still haunting me to this day. But it's fine, we'll forgive them. Set design is 100% in the Untamed. Have you seen the aesthetics of the sets? Yeah, no. It's like, it's really good. I'm not trying to downplay it. It's just, it's competing with some also amazing things. Yeah. No, I have to say, like, the sets was absolutely amazing. It's the smaller details that go with the amazing costumes that make it fall behind when compared to Word of Honor and Heaven Official's Blessing. That's what I'm trying to say. So, for example, the fact that not only do we have amazing sets and costume designs in Heaven Official's Blessing, but there's small details to it that have more implications than just like the face value beautifulness. And the same with Word of Honor for me. No, the animation quality is amazing. It genuinely looks like a CGI movie with a movie budget. The set was so nice to look at, but they were kind of made in a hurry, and at times it showed. That angle of Wen Kuxing was not it. Yeah. It was a bit of a strange shot. That one didn't really stand out to me. I can't even think of which one you're referring to. You can maybe send me a photo of it, because I can't remember. That one didn't bother me as much as the CGI that they used for the long cabinet scene, that with they had the cogs and things to. That was meh. Okay, then we're having the plot. So, Modazushi, the audio drama, has to be up there along with Untamed. They are equal. I'm just putting the audio drama there because I feel like it fleshed out the plot even more than Untamed did, which says a lot because Untamed was freaking thorough. Then Capture Lover, I feel like there was quite a few times where they failed a little bit in leaving questions unanswered, so the plot wasn't fully fleshed out. So we're gonna put that near the end. Then Spirit Pact. The plot wasn't bad because of the pacing and the way it was, like, some scenes were just not in the right place. So again, I'm sorry, Spirit Pact, but you're again at the short end of the stick. SEI had some moments that I felt were a bit weird, so I can't really express which points was slightly off to me, but it's definitely not the best. Scumbag Villain, for what we've seen, I feel like it was pretty good, so I'm gonna put it here. No. Damn, what I say is difficult because, like, there wasn't really a plot, but the mini plots that they had in every episode was well executed. So I don't feel it's fair to compare it to a normal show, so I have to put it after Scumbag Villain, but it was still really well executed for what it was trying to do. Okay. Lost Tomb reboot. It's hurting me a little bit because some of the moments in the plot that were a problem for me, I know was because of what they had to cut out. Yeah, that's exactly it. There was quite a few plot holes. The Untamed deserves to be ahead of Heaven Official's Blessing, and this hurts me to say. The animation in Heaven Official's Blessing fell hard at multiple points. I don't know, for me it's hard to say because I feel like they're both equal. But yeah, as I mentioned, I just feel like there was some details in the set design and costume design for Heaven Official's Blessing that stood out to me more than Tame's costume design. Oh yeah, so as I was saying, Lost Tomb had quite a few plot holes, but I know it's because they had to take out quite a few things. So I feel like it deserves to be in front of SEI because SEI doesn't have that excuse. Guardian. The plot got a little bit messy at the end. It was still good, but there was a few things that I can't quite put my finger on anymore, but I know there were some issues at the end. And the pacing at the end was a bit William, I love the plot, but some of the time I didn't feel like it was the most clear cut. So I'm gonna have to put it. Do you guys think I should put it before Moda Zushikyu or after Moda Zushikyu? I'm not sure. Let's just put it there. Okay, yeah, let's keep it that way. Yin Yang Master, I know there were quite a few people who said there were plot holes and things like that, but I can't really think of anything. I felt the plot flowed quite nicely for the most part, so I feel like it deserves to be in front of Scumbag Villain. Heaven Official's Blessing, the plot was good, but I did feel like at some points they were a bit rushed. So I'll put that one between these two. I know that obviously they have to condense a lot into not a lot of episodes, but still it is something to take into consideration. And then Word of Honor also had quite a few plot holes, and I feel like it did suffer there at the end because it was a bit rushed. The plot was pretty solid, but I feel like it was scattered at certain points, so I'll be putting it after Heaven Official's Blessing. What do you guys think? Should I put it before or after Heaven Official's Blessing? because to me it's really hard to say, because Word of Honor, I feel like, yeah, it had some issues, but we've seen the entirety of it, which doesn't make it fair for me to compare to Heaven Official's Blessing, which we haven't seen the entirety of. Yeah, I feel like the building up the end of Guardian a bit more would have been better. Before, okay, let's do that. Need to react to more of the Untamed OSTs. You haven't even reached the best songs yet. Just remember, space the 3 emotional songs out, or you'll hurt your heart. After the chippy style and the fact that they didn't censor much, put it ahead. Okay, so we'll just say that they're on the same level, okay? Because I cannot make up my mind. Yeah, I also struggle to see plot holes there. The ending of Guardian triggered me. That's not how it ends. I mean, I know. I feel like Guardian walked so Untamed could run, and Untamed ran so that Word of Honor could sprint. So yeah, it's like we're getting there. I feel like despite the setbacks that we're currently experiencing with their limiting BL, I do feel like we're making progress. After Heaven Official's Blessing. Yeah. I get you guys. I feel like the plot was actually quite good for the most part. It just struggled a bit there at the end, unfortunately. Like, even watching it again now, there is not one episode that I felt was dull, which is quite a feat for such a long series. I feel like it's also a feat for Untamed, because Untamed is even longer than that. Okay, before we go to endings, let's quickly talk about the soundtrack. So obviously I don't have this on here, but we're just gonna work with what we have. So in terms of soundtrack, looking at Spirit Pact, I feel like they pretty much stay exactly where they are, because I can't even really think about the soundtracks for either. And I mean, I know I've watched Capture Lover like quite a while ago, but I don't think they had a budget to really have amazing soundtracks either, unfortunately. The sound design for SEI was, I think, fine for the most part. It wasn't like there wasn't really anything to complain about, but there also wasn't anything to write home about. So, yeah. The soundtrack for Guardian, I feel like, was pretty decent. I would put it where it is, but only because I feel like the Lost Tomb reboot, that soundtrack, oh my soul, that soundtrack got me. Like, it's so good, especially the song between the that's kind of about the relationship between the mute girl and Glasses is just, oh, it's so beautiful. Like, I have it on my phone. I just can't play it because YouTube will have a fit, but it's so, so, so good. William, I can't really remember the sound design in Wuliang. I feel like it was probably decent, but I can't. I think they had some nice moments though. I'm trying to remember now. I'd probably just put it after Lost Tomb because it doesn't. No, after Lost Tomb and Guardian because it doesn't really stick out to me that much. Let's just put it there. The Chippy was fun, but it wasn't like it didn't change my life. So I'm gonna be putting its music there. But the other music that came from Morao Zushi, the official Donghua, amazing. But that's not the one we're rating right now. So I feel like I might need to revisit this list at the end of the year or something when I've finished all the other ones, because I do kind of want to talk about how I feel about the ones that I'm busy with in regards to the categories, like where they would be. If you guys want me to quickly talk about that as well. Scumbag was pretty good. I really liked the intro music for Scumbag. I feel like, and I can more clearly remember it, so it'd have to go before Wuliang. Like, that was a really good song. Word of Honor, absolutely amazing soundtrack. Just, especially after watching the concert, I have so much more of a connection with it now than I did, like, with even the songs that weren't as heavily featured in the actual show, but just all of the songs so beautiful. Like, the character songs for it is just absolutely astounding. So I would have to put it like before any of the other ones so far. Heaven Official's Blessings music was so good as well. I feel like it would just because we only have the ending and the beginning songs, I would have to put it after Word of Honor because there's just so much more content than for Heaven Official's Blessing, in my opinion. Grandmaster would want to cultivate. Not Grand. What am I saying? Sorry. Yin Yang Master was good, but I can't specifically. I feel like there were two really good songs that captivated me. So I'll put it before Scumberland because there's just more songs that captivated me. Scumberland, I only really remember the intro song. And then the music for the audio drama was pretty decent. And there were quite a few things, so I feel like it's almost equal to Heaven Official's Blessing, in my opinion. And then obviously, with all the effort they put into Untained's OSTs, like all the OSTs connecting so well with all the different characters, even just based off of the ones that I've already seen, like there's no one else that could take the number one spot because it just blew my mind. Honestly, it was so well done. I loved watching those OSTs, and obviously I'm really looking forward to watching the other ones as well. Hi! Okay, I will also listen to the Wuliang OST at some point, I promise. Like the part. Okay, hold on. Where are we? The Word of Honor soundtracks, yeah, they are amazing. Like the part where Wenkashing was ambushed by everyone, and the part where he saves Usushu from Tianshuang. Like, how did that happen? There was no hint. It was like, yeah, by the way, this happened. The Union Master had that song where they used Qingming and Buya's names in the lyrics. Yeah, that was the one of the two that really stood out to me. So yeah, like, just guys, please be respectful of each other's opinions. Everyone has different emotional connections to different OSTs, so. Okay, and then we are discussing the endings. Ooh, I'm dreading this. Okay, so obviously for the shows that only the first season are out, it's a bit difficult to say, but we're gonna try and handle it. Okay, so the ending for Spirit Pact I actually liked more than I thought I would. Like, I usually don't like the thing of, oh, suddenly we're back to the start kind of vibe, but I appreciated while editing it and getting to re-watch it as I edited, I liked it more. You know, I thought that it was more appropriate than at first given it credit for. So it was a decent ending. I feel like it doesn't deserve to be lost. I liked Captain Lover's ending, but I feel like, well, actually it had quite a bit of emotional deliverance, so we're gonna put it in front of Spirit Pact just because I feel like it pulled out more emotions from me than Spirit Pact did. SEI, oh dear, SEI. Okay, if we're going off of the ending, the one that is after the credits, it's a good ending because it really makes you want to watch the second season, but there isn't a second season yet, and also it upsets me to think of what that ending implies. So I'm gonna put it after Capture Love. And then, just because I'm a very bitter person, we're immediately going to jump to Guardian. And even though I wouldn't have had the two of them, I really hope Lee's not here to hear this. Like, even though I don't want it to have ended the way it ended, if it had to end with it happening to one of them, it needed to happen to both of them. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it last because I don't like the fact that it ended the way it did. But I do appreciate the choices they made in the way that it ended, if that makes sense. Okay, Monozushi cute. That was such a cute ending. Like, that was the best ending. I'm gonna put it in front of Capture Lover because it just soothed my soul. Like, it really was the best kind of fan service ending that they could have between seasons. So yeah, just really good. Wuliang, I quite liked the ending, not gonna lie, but like, I'm so sad over the fact that they only got to meet again when they were so old. That I'm like, you know, it made me a little bit miserable, so it's not gonna be up there with the endings. So I suppose we should just count ourselves lucky that they actually got to meet again. As for Wangxia, which one do you love most? It would have to be the audio drama. If it's not the novel, it would have to be the audio drama just because they got to live out so much in the audio drama. And especially with the extras added on, you just got to see so many things. Like, honestly, the family banquet was one of my favorites. And then the scenes where Wei Ying was climbing into Lang Wonji's bed. That was just so funny, honestly. Scumbag. Okay. I have some issues with rating the ending for Scumbag Villain season 1 because on the one hand I'm like, that is a good place to end it, like it's a literal cliffhanger. But because they decided to end it there, I'm a little bit bitter about it. I'm like, I don't like the fact that they torture us by having it end there, you know, because you can't, like, it's not like you can just go over to the next season. No, you have to wait an entire, like, year or I don't know how long. So I feel like it would have to be after Wu Liang because it left me wanting more with no way of actually getting more, you know? Okay, Yin Yang Master. I would have to put it after SEI because I just wish they didn't have to part. Like, I know there's that promise of them possibly reuniting in the future, but I didn't like the fact that they had to part. Interesting OC fact, Wu Ji from Untamed won the award for Song of the Year in 2019. Wow, that's awesome. I agree with that, though I do think that Penguin wanted to meet Po Xiao, but waited until he brought peace to the world first, because that was the whole reason why he faked his, yeah, like that's the thing, though. Like, I know why they had to do it, but just, it's sad to me still. Okay, and then Lost Tomb reboot, I really liked that ending. I felt like it was the appropriate ending for everything that had been building up since the start of the season, since the start of season 1. So I really liked it. Okay, I didn't love the ending of Heaven Official's Blessing before the special episode because I just felt like this is it, you know, this is where we end it, type of thing. But after the special episode, I thought that was a very good stopping point for the season. So I feel like if we'd had that be the official stopping point for the season, I would have been happier. But the fact that at least they gave us that in the special episode, I'm satisfied with. So yeah, we'll put it there without the special episode. With the special episode, it would be in front of Lost Stream, but without the special episode, after. Okay, then this one, just there. There, at the front. Probably gonna stay at the front. Yeah. Okay, well, let's move this to the front because I wanna include the special episode as a factor. Because otherwise I can't include the extra episode for Word of Honor. So without the episode 37, sorry, without episode 37 for Word of Honor, it would probably have to be like, you can't see where I'm pointing, like there, between Spirit Pact and Yin Yang Master, because honestly I would have just wanted more. But with episode 37, I would say there. Like, I'm happy with how they ended it with episode 37, despite my reservations over the fact that it does feel like everyone was broken up, and obviously Gu Xiang, what happened to her, I'm not really satisfied with. but considering everything, I feel like I'm happy with where Word of Honor ended if you include episode 37. And this is where the difficulty lies, because I feel like Untamed has had one of the best endings for a BL live action. So just because Word of Honor episode 37 isn't accessible to everyone, you have to have a Viki subscription to have it, I have to put Untamed before that, because that open ending, even though it is open ending, you know whose voice that is speaking to him at the end. Like, it is so clear cut that they're back together that I can't quite put it on the same level with Word of Honor, even though I really want to, because I feel like Word of Honor, if episode 37 had been accessible to everyone, would have hands down won against Untamed. But because it's not accessible to everyone, I don't feel like it's quite fair. Oh, bye Vivi, I hope you had a good time. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I know you're trying to introduce me to that Vietnamese BL. Well, after this week, I'll actually have a week off, so maybe it will happen then. I might just message you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to my week off. But yeah, okay, so we are done with the official rankings. I don't know, what are your guys' thoughts? I feel like if I just had to rank in terms of BL, so obviously just in terms of the best BL deliverance, I would say that Lost Tomb has to be at the bottom because it's not an official BL, but it's better than the Bromance in Spirit Pact. I feel like Capture Lover actually did quite a few daring things, so just in terms of what they got away with, it would have to be after the audio drama for Morazushi, because they actually showed them together in bed, which I was so shocked about when I first watched it, because I didn't know that was allowed in any form if it is a Chinese-based drama. But I think it's because it's a web series that it got away with more. I'm not sure, or maybe it just didn't go through official like censorship. I think maybe they just aired it on their own. Not sure. Let me just see. Yeah, I know that people somehow hate the Untamed ending, but I'm like, I don't quite get why, because I feel like they did the best that they could, and at least I have to also keep in mind that I was emotionally scarred from Guardian, so I was just so glad that there was actually a happy ending. I hope I didn't spoil anything fully with Untamed, that I'm like, I didn't get everyone being that bitter about the ending for Untamed. But yeah. Then, let's see, so we have that. Guardian in terms of BL was actually really good in my opinion, so it would have to be somewhere up here. Let's do that. Grandmaster of Demonic. Why do I always say Grandmaster? I just meant Yin Yang Master. Also, as far as I know, wasn't an official BL, but I feel like they leaned into it quite a lot, so it would have to be above these two. SCI actually got a kiss in there, so we're gonna put it up there right next to Capture Lover that I think also did a kiss. Scumbag Villain. I feel like it would have to stay down there just because they haven't really had a chance to explore the relationship yet because it's still developing in season 1. So yeah, that's a thing. William. The fact that they gave their lives for each other in a way, it needs to be up there. But not before the actual ones who did that. We got hand-holding in Morazushi Q, so I'm gonna put it there. It was so adorable. And we got gift giving. I just love that. That we did get Jia Yunlong really badly trying to give presents to Shinwei only for it to be revealed that it is Shinwei's things that he was trying to get rid of. That was very awkward. We had some of the most intimate moments. Like, it's hard because I want to put it higher because it was so good. Okay, just for the chemistry's sake, this is gonna go there because I know that the other ones got to do more actual like BL things, but the chemistry between Wei Ying and Lang Wonji just makes up for the fact that you can't have them holding hands or doing any of the actual things because it's so good. Word of Honor freaking jumped over everyone else because it had the chemistry and then it had the venom sucking moment, which I still cannot believe made it onto screen. And we had a wedding dress for Heaven Official's Blessing, so that it's going up there as well. And I think that's everyone. So that is my order for rating it in terms of being awesome BLs. Oh, these shows just changed my life so much. I love all of them. Like, the Spirit Pact's the only one that was a bit of a dud that we're kind of like ignoring a little bit. But all the other ones, honestly, even though I like put them onto a list, it's so good, and you really have to appreciate how much effort went into all of them. Honestly, just absolutely amazing. So yeah, that is my list. I feel like we can probably end it there. If you guys want to quickly ask some questions or have some last minute things that you want to discuss, let me know. But that is the end of the official listing bit. But that was great fun. I really quite enjoyed this. I just felt like it's a bit unfair because, you know, there's still some great shows that I'm busy with that I can't rate yet. I mean, after watching the latest episode, I don't know if it's the latest one, but it's the one after the episode that just aired for Morazushi on my channel. After watching that one, like, frickin' it would be right up here. It's so fantastic. I kind of want to redo this at the end of the year or at the beginning of next year just because I do also think that Couple of Mirrors is going to be very promising. Like, I feel like it's hit a lot of these things as well. Let me just refer back to the list. Like, the acting for Couple of Mirrors is doing really well in my opinion. The cinematography is great. The set and costume design is beautiful. The plot I'm not sure of yet, but so far it's quite compelling. And I mean, the ending as well, we won't know. But yeah, just I'm really looking forward to it. And also I'm really looking forward to the end of Morazushi Season 3, even though I'm terrified of it as well because I don't want it to end. After what they showed in this episode, they just keep impressing me so much. So yeah, which upcoming BL are you looking forward to the most? Fingers crossed they all get approved eventually. That's a difficult one because the ones that I'm really looking forward to, I'm looking forward to just because of like other people's excitement being one thing and because of the writers, you know. But if I have to say, it would have to be Heaven Official's Blessing, because I know that story, so I know what to be excited for. Whereas, for example, Immortality, I've stayed away from completely because I want to have like a, you know, first time experiencing it when I'm first watching the live action. So I haven't checked out the novel, I haven't gone anywhere that might spoil anything, but I'm really excited for it as well. But it's just because I don't know what to expect that I don't feel I can have the same amount of excitement for it as I have for something like Heaven Official's Blessing, where I know the characters and I love the characters already and so on. So it would have to be Heaven Official's Blessing, but I'm also looking forward to Immortality, and I'm looking forward to Winner is King, and I'm looking forward to the Abbas. So there's so many good BLs to be excited about, and as you said, I just hope they get approved. I love how the Morazushi Donghua gave us... You just spoiled things for me. Oh goodness. Guys, please don't spoil things. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. Okay, so besides Morazushi, let's not discuss Morazushi because I have not finished watching all the episodes. So that's the thing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing Killer and Healer. It's too bad that I didn't get to react to that one, but I'm really enjoying watching it on my own. I do kind of want to do a review of it at some point because I know that a lot of people have asked for me to react to it, not knowing that I'm busy watching it on my own. So yeah, that's the thing. I'm cautiously optimistic about League of Noblemen being released soon. So we'll see how... Yeah, I'd rather just don't mention Morazushi because, like, I mentioned it in my reaction for the next episode, but I was basically spoiled for the entire thing with Wei Ying and Lanjan just because everyone kept mentioning it. So I was quite disappointed by that. But yeah, just if I haven't released an episode on my channel yet, please just assume that I haven't watched it and just be safe and tag spoilers in the comments. It's okay, it happens, but just, yeah, I just want to put a warning out for everyone because it's been happening more frequently. But yeah, what are some non-Chinese BLs that you guys are excited for? Because no, I know you didn't mean to, it's okay. Because I know there are some Taiwanese ones that are coming up. I saw, I think it's called Innocent or Innocence, and I'm like, on the one hand, I kind of want to check it out because the Taiwanese BLs that I've watched have been really high quality, aka We Best Love, Number One For You was great, but just I'm always a bit cautious to watch things dealing with mental illness and so on. So I don't know, are there any that you guys are looking forward to? Because, oh, I forgot to mention it, but I just recorded my reaction for episode 2 of Sleuth of the Ming Dynasty, because that is the next show that my patrons voted for me to react to exclusively on Patreon. So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe releasing those reactions publicly, like a long while after it's been done on Patreon. But I'm honestly so excited for that, because I just think it's going to be great. I haven't seen too many BLs, or haven't seen, what haven't you seen many of? So yeah, anyway, I'm really excited about the Ming Dynasty. It just gave me a very good feel, and yeah, I'm kind of sad that I won't be able to react to a couple of mirrors this week, and also Love is More Than a Word, but especially a couple of mirrors, because I'm just so happy that everyone has had like given me really good feedback on a couple of mirrors, because I'm enjoying it, and I think that, you know, the show is really good, and it just does deserve so much more love than I think it's getting. Like, if you compare the views that it's getting to the views that some other shows that were released in the same time frame have gotten by this point, it's just depressingly low, which is so sad, because it deserves so much. Oh goodness, I need to almost head out because I need to go to class. But yeah, and Kikta mentioned it on her stream recently. I think she did a stream like, it was either yesterday or the day before yesterday, and she mentioned it. But I'm planning on doing a special video for my 1-year anniversary of my first reaction to Heaven Official's Blessing, because that, as I mentioned earlier, that episode just got so much more feedback than I expected. Even it was posted on Bilibili as well, and it did insanely well. I don't know if I'll ever have a video do as well as that one did again, but it was just, I want to celebrate its 1-year anniversary just because it's astounded me. If you're ever going to watch a Thai BL, stay away from Thon Type. It's popular, which makes me wonder what's wrong with people, but it's relationship that develops from, let's call it, non-consensual love. I have watched Thon Type already. It's actually the way I discovered JUSTALOWLYCHANNEL, Lee's channel. And yeah, I actually thought it was really well done. I understand people's issues with it, but one of the issues that I have with some other people's issues with it, and it is just one thing, is some people complained about the homophobia, and I understand homophobia being an issue, but my issue was just because it says in the summary that it's about a homophobic person. So I feel like if it says in the summary that it's about a homophobic person, you can't complain about that when it's like an acknowledged issue that the series is trying to address. So that was my one thing that I had some issues with other people having issues with, but generally with the other things that people had issues with, I can understand that. I do think that the character growth is interesting, and I felt that the acting that was done in it was astounding. Like, especially for Type's actor, did amazing. If you think of the fact that that was his first show, so well done. But honestly, I would not want to be an actor specifically because of roles like Type's character, where you have to go into the mental space of someone who's gone through things like that, and I just would never wish that on my worst enemy. So yeah, just major props to actors who can do things like that, but I understand people's issue with it. Okay, I think we're basically done for the day. I have to, as I said, I have to go to class, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much, and thank you guys for basically sitting here with me while I fangirl about all these amazing shows that have just blown my mind in all the most incredible ways, and I'm really hoping that we get some of the BLs this year, just because I want my mind to continue to be blown. But at least for the time being, we have a couple of mirrors that is doing a fantastic job, and we have Love is More Than a Word, which I think is going to be interesting, if nothing else. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, I'll give it like 4 more minutes, but then I probably should get going. And again, just thank you guys so much also for 3,000 subscribers. As I mentioned in my update video, I didn't expect to reach that this year. I kind of didn't even expect to reach that ever. So just thank you. Oh, are you going to sleep? Well, I hope you have a good sleep. I hope tomorrow is a good day for you, and thank you so much for joining me on your birthday. I hope it was a fun birthday, if nothing else. So yeah, bye. Okay, well, I guess I am heading out since there doesn't seem to be any other questions. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much. And if you guys maybe want to comment what were your rankings for all the shows that we've watched, let me know, because I'm sure that there are going to be some very interesting opinions. But otherwise, I'll see you guys. Goodness, when am I going to see you guys again? It doesn't feel like I'm going to be seeing you guys again soon. No, I didn't miss it. I saw it. You mentioned it while I was still there. I think if you're talking about the Tianba Fuyalu one, I saw that one. No, I'm sure it's gonna be wonderful. I'm excited for it. Though I probably won't be able to watch it for quite a while because I still need to actually watch the show and I don't want spoilers. But I'm definitely gonna go back and watch it once I can. Okay, but it's now time for me to go. I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing week, and I'll see you guys again whenever I see you. But at the very least, there is still going to be Friday and Sunday's videos like normal. I'm working or thinking of maybe just doing a small video for Wednesday, but we shall see. Anyway, I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I'll see you guys again next time.再见!